Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize and Gauteng Premier David Makhura are visiting the Charlotte Maxeke Hospital this afternoon. This after a fire broke out at the Special Dispensary Stores section and spread to other parts of the hospital on Friday. Makhura said the temporary closure is a major setback as it plays a vital role in the fight against COVID-19. Well, for more on this story, we cross to our reporter Makheketla Mohlabe. Thanks very much for joining us, Makheketla. Just tell us what's happening where you are.
Very good afternoon to you, Nompu. We understand that visit to take place in a few minutes from now. We understand that Gauteng Health MEC Nomathemba Mokheti is already inside this hospital. We haven't seen Dr. Zweli Mkhize as yet, as well as Gauteng Premier David Makhura, whom, of course, as you mentioned in that intro, he actually expressed concern with this temporary closure of 7 days, as he mentioned, and saying that this is one of the hospitals that have been playing a huge role in the fight against the pandemic. I'm sure you are already aware that about 794 patients have already been taken to various hospitals following that fire that broke out on Friday. We understand that it actually swept through the basement storage room of this hospital on that day, and it then later spread to the other parts of the hospital. Firefighters had to actually battle the blaze throughout that night, and likely no injuries or fatalities were reported on that day. But of course, questions have been raised in terms of the safety of patients, especially at state hospitals. And perhaps one of the questions that will be posed today is, are state hospitals really safe for patients? Because we will understand that we had one of the private companies that were fighting or helping firefighters here to battle this blaze, saying that it looked like there was a lack of working fire hydrants here at the Charlotte Maxeke Hospital. A question which will really need to be assessed during this visit today, and we will give you more details once we get those officials after we understand that there's going to be first a briefing to make them understand about what happened on that day, and also we understand that investigations are underway. Will they give us details in terms of how far that investigation is? It remains to be seen, but we'll definitely give you more details later on.
Yeah. Makhura, I'm just thinking about what you were saying around what the Premier said about fighting COVID-19. It is quite scary when you think of the fact that when we are at the height of the epidemic, assuming we were to get a third wave, and when we reflect on the second wave, it was so intense. Can you imagine if this happened when the hospital was having to deal with so many COVID-19 patients? It would have been a disaster.
Yeah, absolutely, because we also understand that about 25 patients had to be discharged as a result of that fire that broke out that day. And perhaps not forgetting that, just a couple of weeks ago or even months ago, we heard about how many people had to be admitted due to this COVID-19 pandemic in the province. And you raise a good question there in terms of people having to be evacuated from one of the biggest hospitals in the province, and now having to then be admitted in various hospitals in the province. So I suppose it's a question that we'll then have to get the officials to answer in terms of the safety, and obviously safety issue, and of course the safety measures that need to be prioritized at the state hospitals to avoid this kind of incidents from occurring again.
Yeah, Makheketla, we'll catch up with you as and when the officials come and deliver their speeches. That was Makheketla Mohlabe, my colleague there outside Charlotte Maxeke Hospital.